Much like what I did in a previous video digest, I'm gonna mention a few episodes that caught my interest but just weren't good enough to dedicate a full video digest on. Episode 30 is all about an old scar on Duke Fleet's right arm that he got back in Planet Fleet that re-emerges once he gets hit with a pipe on that side by accident. This episode really hones in on this one particular detail to the point that it gets a crucial backstory that gets re-mentioned in later episodes. In episode 32, a female vegan commander by the name of Marianne has the striking resemblance to the queen of Planet Fleet, and Zuril uses her to potentially kill Duke Fleet with the help of a proton ring on her hand. Duke Fleet's old scar reacts to the radioactivity emitted by the ring and helps him figure out that the woman before him is not his mother that's passed, but is just another one of the Vegan Empire's tricks. And in episode 33, the scar is mentioned once again, but only really plays a minor role this time around. I don't know if the old scar will be mentioned again in later episodes, but in the chance that it does, these are the episodes where the scar was mentioned so far. And with that out of the way, I'd like to talk about episode 34 of UFO Robo Grendizer titled Teardrop of the Wolf, or The Wolf's Tears Are Falling Stars. This episode focuses on a new alien character named Commander Gauss from the Wolf Planet. The Wolf Planet is another world that has been invaded by the Vegan Empire and was once a world rich with life and plantation like flowers and trees, but is now a barren wasteland where nothing grows and is just devoid of life. Commander Gauss is a survivor of that planet, and it's mentioned that the people of the Wolf Planet become as strong as a wolf whenever there's a full moon. They don't become wolves, they just become as strong as them. Let that be clear. Gauss arrives at the Skull Moon base, gaining the info he needs without giving a second thought towards conversing with Gandalf or Zuril. His goal is clear, and that is to find and defeat Duke Fleet within 3 days, because apparently there's a full moon in 3 days' time. Convenient, but whatever. He destroys a bunch of buildings and power plants to lure Duke Fleet to him, and once he's there, he introduces himself and tells him that he must kill him to gain the freedom of his planet. He fights Grendizer, and Duke Fleet struggles to find a way to match the strength and skill of Commander Gauss. The Saucer Beast goes for a killing blow on Grendizer, but spares his life, saying that he will kill Duke Fleet the day after. Turns out that the Vegan Empire invaded his home planet on the night of a full moon, and so Commander Gauss is set on turning his great defeat into a victory. He lets Grendizer leave, and on the next day, Commander Gauss arrives at the Makiba Ranch disguised as a cowboy. Hikaru and Danbei see him, and Gauss announces that he is on a path of revenge with that of Duke Fleet. Hikaru alerts Daisuke of this mysterious character, and Daisuke arrives at the ranch to meet Gauss. He sees a fallen Koji and tells Gauss that their fight is between the two of them, so he has nothing to gain for hurting anyone else. Gauss throws a knife at Duke Fleet, asking to face him right then and there. They have a brief knife fight before Hikaru intervenes, and Gauss reminds Daisuke of tomorrow's full moon. The next day, Hikaru asks Gauss to join her in a horse ride and brings Gauss near a waterfall, only to pull a shotgun on him. Gauss brings out his harmonica and shoots Hikaru with a paralyzing dart. She gets tied up and dangles on the edge of a branch high up in the flowing river. Daisuke arrives, and Gauss demands another duel with him, but their fight ends with him accidentally falling off of the cliff, and Daisuke dives down in order to rescue him. Gauss is sent to a bed to recover and asks Hikaru why Duke Fleet spared his life like that. Hikaru tells him that that's just who Duke Fleet is and leaves the room. Gauss looks at the flowers on his bedside and recalls his life on the Wolf Planet. We see that he had a little sister who loved collecting flowers, but it immediately cuts to multiple scenes of the planet being destroyed and invaded by the Vegan forces. As he recounts these memories, he is reminded of the true reason for his planet's demise, and that is none other than the Great Vega. As he escapes, he focuses on the thought that the Great Vega is the sole reason for the loss of life on his planet, and recalls something that General Gandalf told him about more Vegan saucers being sent out to aid him in his final battle with Grendizer. He turns back to his original form under the light of the full moon behind him. In their final battle, Grendizer fights off a bunch of Vegan saucers and notices that Commander Gauss is helping him get rid of the enemy. Gauss tells him that their fight is between the two of them, and both Grendizer and the Saucer Beast land on the ground, and Duke Fleet throws everything he has on Commander Gauss. The Saucer Beast just takes everything Grendizer throws throws at him, and here's when Duke Fleet realizes what's happening. He lands a killing blow on the saucer beast's head in succession, and the saucer beast falls down. Commander Gauss's chest is pierced by the shoulder boomerang and struggles his way out of the beast's head and crawls to the flower bed nearby. He grabs hold of a few flowers and sees the image of his little sister Ronan standing in front of him. He tries to reach out to her but passes away on the ground. Hikaru is there standing, and Daisuke notices the flowers in Gauss's hands. He realizes in the end that Gauss didn't want Earth to turn out the same way as the Wolf Planet, and that's why he chose to let Duke Fleet win. This is another episode that I really enjoyed watching. Commander Gauss is first introduced as a non-social individual whose only goal is to find out his next target. He also looks like a typical villain, which made me automatically think that I'd be hating this man's guts for the whole episode. But oh my god, was I wrong about that. It really is true that you can't judge a book by its cover, and that's even made more true for Commander Gauss's character. He starts out as a formidable foe against Duke Fleet. He sets the terms of battle early on with Grendizer, Duke Fleet's life for the freedom of his planet. And as the episode progresses, his story unfolds before us, and we get to learn that this simple, goal-driven individual has a complicated past and has forgotten who the real enemy is. In past video digests, I focused on characters that caught my interest because their stories could have been better if the writing wasn't as bad as it ended up being. They were still interesting characters for their respective episodes, but this time around, we finally get to have a character that is well-rounded and feels like a real character. In retrospect, Commander Gauss's story isn't far off from the past alien characters introduced in previous Grendizer episodes. He's another alien who gets tasked to kill Duke Fleet, infiltrates the Makiba ranch and spends time with the humans, and by being exposed to their hospitality and kindness, learns a valuable lesson, gains sympathy for the humans, and or recalls events in their past that lead them to remembering their true purpose or true goal in this intergalactic war with the Vegan Empire. But with Commander Gauss, the story beats play out very well and is executed just right that I couldn't recommend watching episode 34 of UFO Robo Grendizer enough. It's the best episode so far, and I'm excited to see more great episodes like this one from the series. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Hit the notification bell or the join button to become a member and gain early access to future videos and members only content. This is Elmo's Universe, and I'll see you in the next one.